you lay back down. And I'm starting the the thorax exam, so I'm inspecting, looking for any signs of distress or abnormalities. I'm going to palpate. So with this part, can I expose again just part of it?
Yeah.
Okay. And with this, I'm feeling for any lifts, heaves, or thrills.
Actually, for that part, you would pull it down.
You just pull it down. Okay. And then.
But tell her what you're doing, what you're going to do. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to pull this down so that I can examine your lung field.
Okay. And now I'm going to percuss the lung fields, and I should hear any resonance. This looks really uncomfortable.
That's fine.
And I'm going to auscultate with the diaphragm, listening for any adventitious sounds. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and out through your mouth. Feeling lightheaded at all? Okay. Okay, that completes the lungs and thorax exam. Is that okay if I lift up your shirt? Okay, so with this, now she would be draped here, at the top, up to, and then. Okay, so I'm inspecting, looking for any pulsating masses, any lesions, deviations, asymmetry in the stomach. Before I do anything, I'm going to auscultate with the diaphragm on this, and 2 spots is sufficient. And I'm listening for any bowel sounds or ileus. Now I'm going to auscultate with the bell for abdominal, renal, and iliac breweries. And I'm going to palpate and auscultate the femoral arteries. Now I'm going to do percussion of the abdomen. Dullness or tympany is normal with this, and I'm going to percuss the liver span. So, do you want me to mark her?
I guess just, they may expect you. Okay. Not with like a permit. I don't have any body pens.
I've got like a eyeliner, yeah. So once I hear dullness with that, I make a mark because I found the edge of the liver. And I'm measuring this in centimeters, and between 6 to 12 centimeters is normal. And she's at 7. And now I'm going to do the midline. And for this, between 4 to 8 is normal. She's at 4. And so now I'm going to palpate the edge of the liver. Any pain or tenderness with that? And I'm going to perform a light palpation of the abdomen, and then a deep palpation. Do you have any pain or tenderness with this? No. And I'm looking for any grimacing in the face. I'm going to try and palpate the edge of the spleen, which is not palpable, and I'm going to try and capture the kidneys. And then now if the abdomen's tender, I'm going to
So you did light and deep, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do Cva Tenderness, so I'm going to help you sit up here. Checking for any, do you have any tenderness there? Okay, and now with the end of this, I'm going to palpate 3 pulses, so go ahead and lay down for me. Okay. I'm going to palpate the popliteal, the posterior tibial, and the dorsalis pedis. And now I'm going to start my lower extremity exam. So I'm first starting with inspection, looking at the hips, the knees, the feet. I'm looking for any atrophy in the quads. With the feet, I'm looking for any corns, calluses, lesions, bunions, warts, both the top and the bottom. I'm now going to palpate the bones of the feet, feeling both the medial lateral malleolus, the Achilles tendon, the calcaneus, the heads of the metatarsals. Now I'm going to have you dorsiflex your feet up, so pull them towards you. Good. And now push down, which is plantar flexion. And I'm going to do, is it the light and dull sensation of light? No, I'm not there yet. I'm skipping ahead. So now I'm going to do range of motion of the knees. So if you bring your knee up, can you flex it out? Or send it out and flex it in and extend it out? Good, and do it with this leg, please. Good. Extension and flexion. And then for the hip, can you flex, bring your leg up, so flexing the hip, and then scooch to the edge of the bed, and looking for the, drop it down for extension. Good, and then the other side for me. Flexion and extension of the hip. Good job. And while she's laying down with her feet up, I'm going to do the Babinski sign, which is skipping a little bit. So with this, I'm going to start on the exterior, the lateral side, come in, and I'm looking for the movement of the great toe. It should curl in and not flare out. I'm going to help you sit up here. Okay, so now what I'm looking at is I'm going to have you flex your hip up against resistance. So pull up, good, and now pull down. Extension of the hip, good. And now can you kick out, push against my hands, good. And pull in, which is extension and flexion of the knee. Now I'm going to do the sharp and dull sensation. So again, Miss Kent, this is dull and this is sharp. Tell me, close your eyes and tell me what you feel.
Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Good.
I'm looking at, now I'm going to do the reflexes. So first with the patella, can you do this with your hand? I should see. And now the Achilles tendon, so I'm going to support your foot again, just scratching with this. I'm feeling for her push down on my hand. Let me just hold your foot here. And now I'm going to check for clonus. So just let me hold your foot, relax it, and sharply dorsiflex. I'm looking for any movement afterwards. And I'm going to, I already did the Babinski, so now I'm going to do the straight leg raise. So with this, do you have any pain radiating down your leg or to your back? Okay. So you can go ahead and put your shoes and stuff on. I'm gonna remove this cover if you don't mind, because I'm gonna have you stand out. So go ahead and I'll help you out. So with this, I'm looking at her her spine as she's standing, looking for any deviations of the spine, kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. I'm going to palpate the spinous process all the way down. Now palpating the SI joint. Do you have any pain or tenderness in your back? Okay, so now I'm going to have you lean forward as I'm supporting. I'm looking at, go ahead and come back up, but I'm looking at the height of the shoulders, making sure the same and any asymmetry of the spine with that. Now I'm going to assess your gait. So can you just walk straight for me? Good. And with that, I'm looking for any Trendelenburg gait, any wide base or ataxic gait such as cerebellar disease. I'm looking for, and I'm looking for any analgesics such as a painful gait, and I know there's one more. Antalgic. Okay, and then I'm forgetting one. And now I'm going to have you walk on your toes for me. I didn't say that, I think like the first one. The waddle. Drop.
Steppage.
And then, so walking on your toes as I'm supporting, now walking on your heels.